Okay, so today I'm doing a response video to a few questions and a few statements that I got given a couple of days ago by a lady called Elizabeth. And she was simply saying that, studies can be misconstrued, and she wanted proof on the dairy industry being, bad. She said that she was a vegetarian at uni, and she wanted to do a presentation on phytoestrogens, particularly in soy, but was left with no clear idea. And coming from someone like myself who has also studied nutrition, I do have a clear idea. Phytoestrogens are vital for our diet. So, yes, soy is good for you. Most Chinese women don't get cancer. Soy can actually protect you from cancer, providing it's not genetically modified soy. It's quite good for you, of course, in mediocre doses. Like too much of anything can always put your balance out, and it's really important to get a balance of your nutrients, because if they're out, that's why I don't really believe in taking supplements, because if you're getting one high dose of a certain vitamin, you're putting your whole levels out, and your body has to be balanced. It's yin and yang. It's like everything in life, yin and yang. What else did she say? She also said that, she wants proof from Harvard, which is great. I studied my nutritional therapy from the UK through the Health Sciences Academy, and it was all science-based. So, you say in the beginning of your comments that you don't believe in science, it's not about science, and then you say that you need to know the science behind things. So, if you want scientific evidence, it's there. But I even believe that scientific evidence doesn't sometimes look at the whole picture. So even that can be skewed. So for me, and this is why it's very important, and this is why I stand by my truth 150%, is you need to try it for yourself. So anything that I suggest that you try, do it for yourself, and do it for at least 30 days. I've got a 30-day challenge running at the moment, so I test it out on not only myself, I test it out on other people. And speaking of calcium, and you say that blah, 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 something, calcium, yes, if you don't have calcium in your bones when you're young, you won't have calcium in your bones as an adult. Well, actually, and it has been proven that calcium isn't as important for your bones as what magnesium is. So it's really important to get magnesium. However, why don't we just get a whole variety? Calcium, magnesium. Why do we have to focus on something? The thing about calcium is, and dairy, and this is the studies that I'll send you, is that dairy isn't a good source of calcium at all, because it's highly acidic to your body, as is meat, but then as is corn, as is soy, not as much, but quite acidic. So you need to counteract that acidity, because when you have acid in your body, your bones leach phosphorus. So the phosphorus tries to neutralize the acidity, and then when that happens, phosphorus is actually married to calcium, it takes it with it. So I'm all into explaining the body and everything in layman's terms, because, I don't have a degree in science, so to speak. So I look at it, just like you look at having antioxidants. Antioxidants are extremely important in your body. However, dairy actually puts out the balance, because it's an adversary to having vitamins. So it will stop them from being absorbed into your bloodstream. And that is common knowledge. Like that's information that you can find anywhere on the internet. So it's really important to see what connects and what resides with you. And it was very interesting, actually, Elizabeth, that you said that you were vegetarian in uni, and then you talk about when you were vegan. Now, I'm talking about plant-based here. I wasn't really talking about being vegan as such, because it's a completely different thing. Technically, Elizabeth, if you were vegan, you wouldn't really go back to eating meat or dairy anyway, for an ethical point of view. That's what veganism is. So if you were just plant-based, that's fine, but say that you're plant-based, because if you were vegan, you would understand, and you can see these things with your own eyes, how much water it actually takes to make one hamburger, how much devastation it does to the rainforest, to the pollution, especially pig farms. It's disgusting, and all those sorts of things. So when you talk about it, perhaps just say that you were plant-based, because if you were truly vegan, you would understand that it's not just about your health. It's not just about the animals. It's not just about the environment. It's about everything as a whole, which is important to look at when you look at studies as well. the whole study, because some studies can just isolate little small amounts, you know. And I'm like you, I was quite, you know, confused when I first started learning about nutrition, because there is so much conflicting information out there with U-Butte studies, you know, and particularly coming from the dairy industry themselves, because they don't want to lose out on money. You know, that's what they're living on. That's what gives them money. You know, that's so. What if it's taking advantage of animals, or, you know, killing babies? They're still making money out of it. And I guess when you become so switched off to all that for the sake of the dollars, you'll do anything. You know, it wouldn't be beyond you to lie a few times about studies, you know, and say that dairy does a body good, when I've tried it for myself. And you say that you appreciate that I've tried it for myself, but I can't recommend my clients try it for themselves if I haven't tried it for myself and seen how much it works. Now, I've been plant-based, so I haven't had dairy for nearly 2 years, and I feel fantastic. You know, I have so much energy. I don't even know when I've got my period now. You know, it's kind of awkward, actually. And I don't care who sees this, because I'll be open and honest with everybody, because that's what I do. You know, I believe in things that I can see with my own eyes. You know, so it's not necessarily a study that I'll sit down and look at, but I do know all about the antioxidants. I do know how well they go for your body. I do know that breathing is killing us too effectively. You know, you need to have lots of antioxidants in your body to disarm the free radicals that are running around simply from oxidizing your cells from breathing. You know, that's why long distance runners and marathon runners really need to eat really, really well. Otherwise, they'll get sick. They'll be sick all the time. Okay, and you also said that we're living longer, whereas our caveman ancestors only lived till their 50s. That's because that's true what you were saying. You said that that's because, you know, our bones have to last us longer now because we're not getting chased by saber-toothed tigers. Okay, so you're admitting that we lived less back in the dark age, right? When we were living predominantly off meat, not many veggies, you know, that was hard to grow back then, so on and so forth. You know, and you had to fight your way through the dinosaurs eating all your greens, you know, your big dinosaurs who most of all were herbivores. Anyway, so I don't really know why you kind of made that point. Yes, we are living longer. However, we're using pills and we don't have the quality of life, you know, that we used to have. Now we're just happy if we're alive. And I've spoken to so many people lately, and it's quite distressing, the amount of people that are like, oh, well, yeah, but, you know, Joe Blow down the road, he drinks a 6-pack every day. He smokes a carton of cigarettes a week and he's fine. Okay, Joe Blow might be fine, but is he healthy? Is he happy? Does he bounce out of bed like I do every morning? You know, does he? I know women that have been vegan, especially the lady that is the founder of the Vegan and Vegetarian Society, Maureen. She's like in her, don't quote me on this, she's either late 70s or early 80s, and she bounds out of bed. So I've seen her. She's out there with the cows in the paddock, you know, going to open days, being part of the world. You know, Joe Blow down the road that's having a 6-pack a night, that's smoking a carton of cigarettes, he's not getting far from the bedroom, actually. He gets to probably the TV, might, you know, whack on some telly for the day. Remember old Norm? Now that's a healthy lifestyle that we want to get to, isn't it? Not really. We want to meditate. We want to explore our options. And I know I'm getting off track with this, Elizabeth, but I think you can sort of get my gist on things. You know, we are living longer, but most of us aren't living healthier. And when you talk about your days as a vegetarian, you said you weren't healthy and you had low iron levels. Well, that's simply because you weren't eating enough non-heme iron. You know, plenty of mushrooms, you know, leafy greens, having it, you know, mixing it with the things that help you. You're promoters of that. Vitamin C is a great promoter of iron. Learning about, and you said that you studied nutrition, so learning about what goes with what and actually eating it. You know, quantities, not just having, oh, you know, 5 lettuce leaves and going, oh, okay, well, I'm done now for the day. Of course you're going to get sick. You know, and that's what I teach my clients. You need to eat in abundance. That's what our bodies are designed to do, and naturally be the weight that we are meant to be. So people that are overweight or obese, they are unhealthy. You know, it's not healthy. You get headaches all the time. That's not normal. You know, you have back pain. Again, that's not normal. Maybe something's out of alignment. Maybe, you're sick all the time. You have an unhealthy immune system. You can fix that, and you can fix that within yourself. You don't need a drug or a pill or a potion to fix that. You just need the right food. So food can be thy medicine. Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. It is so true. Buying organic foods, not these sprayed stuff, not Monsanto, not all this other crap, getting back to basics. Eating, eating as much fruit as you want. That's what our bodies are designed to do. That is a natural food. And I hate these people, they say, I calorie count. So you can get some crisp bananas or whatever they are, lolly bananas, for that many it might only be 100 grams and it might be 120 calories. But then you have a large banana and that's 150 calories and they go, oh, well, I'll just have these chips. No, because that's not real food. Your body doesn't even recognize it as food. Our body recognizes food as whole foods, fruits, vegetables, yes, meat, yes, dairy, but the way that they're produced now, nah. No way in hell. Not with all the added hormones, not with all the added antibiotics, not with all the shit, It's not the same. So we need to get back. We need to get back, but yet we are moving forward. So if that makes sense, we are evolving. We're getting to this area, and that's why you probably can feel it. People are evolving. Look around you. There's more and more people becoming aware of the environment, aware of, animal suffering. And that's the thing. How can you argue against veganism? Because when you are arguing against it, you're arguing for animal rights. You're arguing for the environment to be fucked. You're arguing for, an unhealthy body because you're putting someone else's hormones in your body. The stress and anxiety that animals suffer before you eat them, that's what you are ingesting into your own body. So you wonder why you've got bad periods. You wonder why, you've got acne. You wonder why you're getting all these things, especially when you consume dairy. It's feeding a cow enough hormones to get it to grow into like this massive 300 kilo cow. It's and then they're weaned. So it just doesn't make any sense. So if we look back, and you can do all the studies that you want, and yes, dairy is bad for your body. I have the evidence, and I will post it hopefully under here, or I'll pop it in when I put this on Facebook. But yeah, I always say look into it. And yes, and Ange sent the link, the downside to the China study. Yeah, because someone else has looked at another section of it and gone, oh, okay, well, that doesn't add up, that doesn't add up. So it's all shit. But take bits and pieces, and this is what you do as a human being. Don't we just take what we want to take from something, and then put it all together, and what resolves in our mind and in our body reflects. So what you believe is, of course, what can happen. So what you think, breathe, say, feel, and do makes up a huge thing. Our minds are very powerful as well. So you need to consider that when you're looking at any study. You're only going to take what from it. Some people will read the exact same thing and get a different thing. Look at the Quran. Look at the Bible, for Christ's sake. If Christians really went with what was in the Bible and they interpreted like I would interpret it instead of into their own little beautiful way of interpreting the Bible, there'd be a lot of fucked up shit. People would be getting hands cut off, It's about what resides with you. And if it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. So as a previous vegan, like you say you were, surely it can't feel right when you look at that piece of meat on your plate that used to be a walking, loving being that wanted nothing more than to be alive. Do you not? I don't know. I don't know how that works, because I can never go back once I've seen everything that I've seen. I've been inside a factory farm. I've seen that with my own eyes. I've watched everything on how animals are dehorned, how their beaks, the chickens are debeaked, grinding up baby chickens because people want to buy eggs. The male chicks go to waste. All this stuff, Elizabeth. So I don't know why you're sort of questioning it when I think you already know the answers. Anyway, so look into it further, and I'll put those links for the Harvard about dairy down the bottom. So it's been nice chatting, and I'll talk to you soon.